The average company takes 204 days to detect a data breach. 204 days. That's nearly 7 months when an attacker is already inside your network, reading emails, stealing customer records, mapping your systems, and your team has absolutely no idea. By the time you find out, the data is gone. Regulators are calling, and your customers are reading about it in the news. The companies that catch attackers in hours, not months, have one thing in common: a properly run security operations center. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how SOC monitoring works, what your security team should be doing 24/7, and why most mid-sized businesses are getting this completely wrong. Let's get into it. A security operations center, a SOC, is the team and the technology that watches your entire digital environment around the clock, detects threats, and responds before those threats turn into business damage. And I want to be really clear about something. This is not just an IT problem. When a SOC fails, the consequences don't stay inside the IT department, they hit the whole business. Regulatory fines when you can't prove compliance, financial losses from ransomware or operational downtime, reputation damage that takes years to rebuild, customer trust gone overnight when their data is exposed, and in some cases, complete business disruption. Systems offline, operations frozen, unable to serve anyone. So when decision makers treat a SOC as something for the IT team to figure out, that's the mindset that leads to the 204-day breach. A SOC is a business risk function. The question isn't whether you can afford one, it's whether you can afford to operate without one. So what does a SOC actually do? Think of it in two parts. The first is visibility. Right now, every device in your company is generating a record of everything it does. Your email system, your servers, your employee laptops, your cloud tools. All of it constantly recording activity. A SOC pulls all of that into one place, so the security team has eyes on everything happening across your business at all times. Without that, you have blind spots, and attackers love blind spots. The second part is detection, and this is where most security teams get it wrong. Here's something that might surprise you. If your security team is catching an attack while data is actively being stolen, you're already too late. The attacker has been inside your environment quietly for a while. You're not preventing damage anymore, you're managing it. The best SOCs catch attacks much earlier than that. Think of it like a burglar casing a building before they break in. Testing a side door, checking which windows are unlocked, watching the guard's schedule. None of that looks like a break-in, but it is an early warning of one. The same thing happens in your network. Before an attacker does anything destructive, they spend time quietly exploring, moving carefully, testing access, looking for weak points. And those early movements, while subtle, leave traces. A well-built SOC is designed to catch those traces by connecting small, seemingly unrelated signals into a pattern. Not one alarm going off, but three quiet, unusual things happening in the same environment over a short window that together tell a story. But detection isn't the only thing a modern SOC does. The best SOCs also have dedicated teams doing something called threat intelligence and threat hunting. Threat intelligence means your SOC is constantly tracking what is happening in the global threat landscape. New attack campaigns, newly discovered vulnerabilities in software that your business might be running, emerging tactics being used against companies in your industry. And rather than just watching that information, a good SOC translates it into direct, actionable advisories for your team. If a critical vulnerability is discovered in a system that you are running, you're not reading about it in the news. Your SOC is already telling you exactly what to patch and how, before attackers can exploit it. Let me show you what catching it early actually looks like in plain terms. Number 1, ransomware. Most companies find out about ransomware when their files stop opening and a ransom note appears on the screen. By then, it's over. But before ransomware does anything visible, it spends time quietly exploring your systems, touching folders it has no business accessing, testing what it can reach. A good SOC sees that unusual behavior and stops the threat before a single file is touched. Number 2, a compromised employee account. Someone on your team clicks a phishing link. Their login credentials are stolen. Now an attacker is inside your systems using a real username and password. So nothing looks obviously wrong, but they're logging in from a location your employee has never worked from at 3 a.m. accessing systems they've never opened before. A good SOC connects these signals and flags it before the attacker has had time to do anything with that access. Number 3, an insider threat. Sometimes the risk isn't an outsider. An employee starts quietly downloading files outside their normal work. The behavior is subtle, slightly more activity than usual, folders they don't normally access. A good SOC tracks behavioral baselines over time and catches this early, before anything significant leaves the building. Number 4, someone trying to break in. Before an attacker successfully gets in, they usually try a lot of wrong doors. Failed login attempts spread across different accounts over several days, slow enough to look like accidents. A good SOC sees that pattern forming and locks it down before they find the right door. Number 5, an attack through a vendor you trust. Your business uses third-party tools, software vendors, IT partners, cloud services. Attackers know this. They compromise a trusted vendor and use that access to get into your environment through the back door. Early signs are subtle. A trusted tool behaving slightly differently, a connection somewhere it's never connected before, and when your SOC is tracking global attack campaigns, they know if a vendor you're using has been flagged before it becomes your problem. The pattern across all 5 is the same. There's always an early warning. The question is whether anyone's watching for it and whether your detection system is sophisticated enough to catch it. Now the question we get most often, should we build our own SOC or use a managed provider? Let me give you the honest comparison, and I'll go beyond just headcount and cost because that's where most comparisons stop. Building in-house. You need a minimum of 6 to 8 security analysts just to cover 24/7 shifts with no single points of failure. Salaries for experienced analysts are not cheap, and the market is extremely competitive. You're going up against banks, tech companies, and government agencies for the same talent. Add your tooling, licensing, and infrastructure, and you're realistically looking at $2 to $4 million a year before you've got a single threat. But the harder problem isn't money, it's expertise, and keeping that expertise current. The threat intelligence landscape doesn't stay still. New attack techniques emerge constantly. New vulnerabilities are discovered in software that your business is running. Global attack campaigns shift tactics. Keeping your detection strategy current means your team needs to be continuously learning, continuously updating rules and playbooks, continuously tracking what attackers are doing right now, not 6 months ago. That's a full-time discipline on its own. And for most in-house teams, especially at mid-sized companies, it gets deprioritized. The team is busy responding to day-to-day issues, detection rules get set once and rarely updated, threat intelligence becomes an afterthought. And quietly, your SOC falls behind in the threat landscape, even if nobody notices. A managed SOC solves this differently. You're not just buying headcount, you're buying a team whose entire job is staying current. Their detection strategies are constantly evolving based on what's active in the threat landscape right now. They're tracking global attack campaigns across all their clients, which gives them pattern recognition that a single in-house team simply cannot match. When a new critical vulnerability drops, they're already building the detection logic and pushing advisories to their clients, with clear, actionable guidance on exactly what to patch and in what order. You also get 24/7 coverage, certified analysts, and established response playbooks from day one. Without the 12 to 18 months it takes to build that capability from scratch. The honest answer for most mid-sized businesses, building in-house just isn't expensive. It's a continuous commitment that's very hard to sustain at the level of expertise required. A managed SOC exists specifically for companies that need enterprise-grade security without the enterprise-sized security team. The caveat, not all managed SOC providers are equal, which brings me to the 3 questions you should be asking right now. These questions don't require a technical background. You're listening for confidence, specifics, and evidence, not jargon. Question 1. Are they catching threats early or late? By the time your team detects a threat, how far into the attack has it typically gotten? A red flag answer is that they talk about catching attacks at the final stages. Data being stolen, systems encrypted, or they tell you the system is highly tuned and rarely fires false alarms. That's usually code for that they've narrowed detection so much that they only catch attacks once they're already advanced. What does good look like? A team that can point to examples of catching unusual behavior early, before damage occurred, and can explain how they connected small signals together to identify it. If they can speak to how they update their detection based on evolving global threats, that's even better. Specifics matter, vague reassurance doesn't. Question 2. Who's actually watching at 2 a.m.? Walk me through exactly what happens the moment a serious alert fires outside business hours. A red flag answer is that our IT person is on call or anything that amounts to we check things in the morning. Attackers don't wait for business hours. If nobody is actively watching overnight, that's precisely when they move. So what does good look like? A dedicated team with people in shift around the clock. A clear escalation process and a defined response time. Not a single individual juggling multiple responsibilities who might see the alert hours later. Question 3. Are they keeping up with the threat landscape? How do you stay current in the new attack techniques and vulnerabilities? How does that translate to action for us? A red flag answer is that we send out a monthly security newsletter, or no clear answer on how global threat intelligence gets translated into action for your specific environment. Awareness without action isn't protection. So what does good look like? Proactive advisories when new vulnerabilities are discovered with specific actionable guidance, not just awareness. Detection strategies that are continuously updated based on the current threat landscape. A team that can tell you what changed in their approach in the last 90 days and why. If you just ran through these questions and any of the red flag answers sound familiar, that gap is real and it's worth taking seriously. So here's where we land. If you ask those 3 questions to your current security team and didn't like the answers, that's exactly the gap CyberNX is built to close. CyberNX delivers a fully managed SOC, 24/7 threat monitoring, certified analysts, real-time incident response, and compliance-ready reporting. Our detection strategy is continuously updated as the threat landscape evolves. So you're always being protected against what's happening now, not what was happening a year ago. And when new vulnerabilities are discovered in systems that you're running, you get targeted advisories with clear, actionable guidance, so your team knows exactly what to do and when. Built specifically for businesses that can't afford a breach, but also can't afford to build and maintain an in-house team capable of keeping up with today's threats. Click the link in the description to book a free SOC assessment with the CyberNX team. No sales pitch, no commitment, just a clear, honest picture of where your security gaps are and what it would take to close them. If the 204-day number scared you at the start of this video, good. Now you know what to do about it.